Hello, viewers. I am your host, Mariam Kamara, and you're watching Jungle Online TV. And today in the studios, I have a guest who is called The Pen. But I would give him a chance to say hi to you guys and then give you a formal introduction of himself before we go further with the conversation.
All
Say
right.
hi to the viewers.
Thank you very much. Hello, viewers, wherever you are watching us from. Anyway, I'll express my appreciation for the invitation. My name is Modu Sise. I am a poet and a teacher, a Backway Returnee, and also a survivor anyway. I'm a member of Youth Against Irregular Migration.
Okay, that's what to say, guys.
Sure.
Anyway, you've mentioned something very interesting here. That's Bagu,
Exactly.
isn't it? So it means you went through the Sahara.
Exactly.
Wow, that's quite an experience.
Sure.
I'm smiling, but I know I'm not supposed to. But he's here. He's fine, I guess. So I think I have right to smile, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
All right.
We celebrate our
Anyway, you mentioned that you're a teacher,
Exactly.
isn't it? So how did you become a teacher? Were you a teacher before you left the Gambia or after you came back?
Well, I was a teacher before I left anyway, because I went to the Gambia College between 2018 to 2021. From there, I became a qualified teacher and started teaching. In between the line, that's why I went to Backway and came back, then continued my teaching career.
Okay. Why did you go to Backway?
Well, there are many reasons why I went to Backway, but one of the main reasons why I embarked on the journey was educational purpose, because I wanted to go to the university and I did not have the opportunity to get the scholarship to go to the university. So at the same time also I had the opportunity to study abroad through 3 different scholarships. All of them failed, so I have in mind that I think I will not make it here in the Gambia. Let me try the Backway. When I succeed, probably I will be able to achieve my dream. So this was one of the main reasons why I embarked on the Backway journey.
Okay. So you felt that if you embark on the Backway journey, probably life will be better for you.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So how did you start the journey? Where did you get the money from which you used to embark on the journey?
Well, the money that I used from here to Mali was not that much, less than 5,000 Gambian dollars. I sold my laptop, my mobile phone, and another good article that I have with me at Black Market. And then from there, I paid the ticket and then went to Mali.
So was your family aware?
Well, no, my family wasn't aware. What I did was I wrote a lengthy note and then placed it in one of my documents so that one day they will come across it and then know where I went to. They were only aware, very close family members were aware when I was already on the journey and there was no return.
Wow. So how was the journey like? When you boarded the vehicle, which was supposed to take you to Mali, how did you feel when you were leaving the Gambia?
Well, at that time I feel I have a mixed emotion, sad at the same time, a little bit proud because I'm beginning a journey that I know that, yeah, it's all about motivated by struggles. But at the same time also, I start thinking of what do happen to people who normally embark on the journey. So it's just kind of a mixed feeling of joy and happiness. At the same time, nostalgic. I already started missing home immediately when I entered the
You
post.
felt nostalgic.
Sure.
Okay. So what were your expectations when you were leaving the Gambia?
Well, one of my expectations was like that. I expected that, I may not survive in the journey because I know the journey was having a lot of dangers. In another way around also, I expected that I would make it. So it was this kind of a 2 expectations that were with me. Anyone that I came across with, I would know that's where destiny calls.
Wow. It means you've put your life on the line.
Exactly, exactly.
You knew there could be death and you still went.
Yes, I knew there could be.
Is Gambia that hard?
No. I begin to know that when I embark on the journey, before I have been told a lot about the journey, I have made a lot of research. And Youth Against Irregular Migration have been an organization that have been raising a lot of awareness. Among them, we have the Tonis. They tell us all these dangers. But when I embark on the journey, that's the time I know that, yeah, no matter how hard is the Gambia, no matter how difficult is the situation here, it is far better than the situation out there when you embark on the journey. So I only get to know it when I experience it by myself. And this is why today I come out to talk to the young people, letting them know that no matter how hard is the situation here in the Gambia, the Backway is never the solution to their problems. Because the money that you spend there, the difficulties that you're going to spend there, that you're going to face there, and then the patient that you're going to endure there. If you bet here in the Gambia, my brother, there's nothing that you cannot get in the Gambia.
So in one word, if I can hear you, it's like the Gambia is far better than other countries out there.
More, in terms of experience, the peace that you're going to be you're going to have, because in those countries you are treated as an illegal migrant, or you are treated as somebody who is stateless, and mostly from one smuggler to another. So the way that you are treated there, that exactly shows you that you are in home at home, and then you are in a safer place. So basically in the Gambia, that is not here. No matter how difficult is it, you always have food to eat, you always have your freedom in one way or the other, unlike those places down there.
Okay, so tell me, when you got to Mali, what happened?
Well, when I got to Mali, my first experience was the time when rebel captured us. They ambushed us in the boat when we were on the boat going from Sevari to Timbuktu. They ambushed us there, and then they demanded ransom. I can remember it was about 5,000 to 10,000 CFA, and they asked us to pay the money. If
that's how much in dollars?
I don't know the rate as of now,
okay,
but I know it could be a little thousands anyway.
Okay. Okay. So how was it like being a Gambian, not used to seeing guns all over, especially pointed to you, and you had to experience that on that route? How?
Yes, it was very. It was very frightening for me because I have just been seeing guns, but not to the extent of you being pointed at gun being pointed at you. So it traumatized me in one way or the other. At the same time, it made me very sad. At the same time, it made me very fearful of what is in the adventure ahead. But basically, it was something that, at some point made me to at least conclude in my mind that I'm going to survive, and this could be my last moment on Earth.
So how did you manage to avert that situation?
Well, they were able to get a lot of amount of money from the migrants, and we were about 10 of us that were left. And having got a lot of money, amount of money from them, they threatened us, those of us who did not pay. After threatening us for a while, they wanted to, at least for them, they say they are going to kill us. But then in one way or the other, then we were able to be forgiven. And then from there, they put in the boat and then we continue with our fellow migrants there. So this is how we escaped that particular tragedy.
They left you guys to go?
Yes, they left us to go at the last minute. But before leaving us to go, they at least touched us a little bit.
Wow. So how was it like? How did they torture you guys? Like, they use sticks to beat you or what?
No, like they have their guns with them. So what I can remember during that time, there were grasses because it was an island inside the river where they told us to all get down, and then from there they started charging us. Those that pay money, then they'll put it in the boat and then take you back to the main boat. So what happened when we were left with about 10 of us, so they told us to remove the grasses that were there. At the same time, they were behind us kicking us, at the same time, beating us.
So you were reading the place whilst they were beating you?
Yes, exactly.
Was it like a garden or something?
No, it's an island. It's a Swami island inside the river.
Okay.
River Niger. It's a Swami island there.
Yeah, I understand that it's an island.
Exactly.
But then what I meant, where were you reading? Was it a garden or an open land?
No, it's not reading. They were telling us to just uproot the grasses
on an open land.
Grow. Yeah. In that particular island, there were grasses that grows there. And they were telling us, like, you have to uproot these grasses. Just as a punishment at the same time, they keep on beating us. And I can even remember them telling us, like, you have to walk towards the boat that is going. Because the boat that brought us, they allowed that boat to go, and then they told us that you are going to be uprooting the grass, and when you reach the water, you're going to, walk towards the boat. So, and then at the same time, they were behind us also beating us and then torturing us.
But then, were you able to swim? You know how to swim?
No, we did not reach to that extent. Okay. I have a little bit skills of swimming because I've been into fishing for some time ago during my basic school.
Okay.
But I know that even if at all I was able to swim, that's not a river that I am used to anyway.
Wow, you would have not made it.
No, not totally.
So I know you were like, oh, that's it. I'm done.
I was like, this is going to be the end of me.
Yeah,
so this was how it was to me at that very moment.
I know. So when you left that island, what happened again?
Yes, when we left the island, we went straight to Timbuktu, and then in Timbuktu...
In a boat?
Yeah, the same boat is the one that takes us to Timbuktu.
Okay.
And then at Timbuktu, then we were to cross the Sahara Desert and go to the first village in Algeria we call Bors.
So how did it go?
Yes, we were able to cross the Sahara Desert. We spent 7 good days in the Sahara Desert. We lived in very terrible condition. Food was our problem, water was our problem, and the truck where they put 78 of us, it was very congested anyway. So it was very congested. At the same time, these smugglers were armed with weapons, and then that alone is something that shows you how dangerous is that path across the Sahara Desert.
But they were not hostile?
They were very hostile because number one, like first we were a little bit stubborn because we were disturbing our agents, telling him that we have to go because we're gonna spend much time here. And then after being, disturbed by us, he have to hand us over to the Tuareg guys. And then those people, are with their weapons, so they only have one command: do this, or else we're gonna do what we want. So basically, it was something very difficult for us down there.
So after the 7 days, when you've already crossed the Sahara, what else happened? Where did you go?
Well, I went to the first village in Algeria, and from the first village in Algeria called Boros, I also moved from there to another place called Tamar.
So, like, when you go to the village, you don't know anybody there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, how do you manage to stay there?
Well, these agents normally welcome us because
the agents have their base there?
Yeah, the agents have their base, just like an empty land or somewhere around the bush. But for us, it was an empty land, just fence.
No house?
No house, no nothing. So what we're going to do, like, you normally take our clothes or these wrappers, and then we prepare a tent, sort of, and then we enter under the tent anyway. So this is, when we immediately come, they give us tickets. Like, the tickets is only a number that's written in that particular ticket from Mali. And then I'll just go to Algeria. When you arrive, that's the ticket that you're going to show to the people where you're going to meet a stop. And then those people are going to use the number and call the agent and tell the agent that, okay, this individual is here, and then it's under your people that is directed to you. So this was how we were able to get there. But unfortunately, before that, at Timbuktu, when we disturbed our agent, he took us to the one Arab guy. That Arab guy had to take the tickets that were meant for us to meet another guy we call Ibrahim, who was an African like us, and then give us another ticket that will now make us to be collected by some of these smugglers who are Arabs, or now we call them, who could held us for ransom and then asked a lot of amount of money before releasing us.
Why did he do that?
Yeah, well, first, I believe it was because we were challenging them in one way or the other. But fortunately, what happened was that I was the number that he collected for me. Before he collected the number, I already wrote the number somewhere in my SAT. When you look at the SAT, at the back here, there are normally the cartons. So that's why I wrote the telephone number and gave him my ticket. So immediately when we arrived in Algeria, everybody, your agent was coming to you for you. And then first, when we were there around night time, I have to just rush to one guy and tell the guy, can you call this number for me? When the number was called, I met with a man we call Ibrahim, who is a Nigerian agent, and that guy happened to come for us. So when he came, then there was push and pull. Because Gambians say, okay, as long as I am going, they also have to go with us, because all of us were given the same ticket, but they cannot prove that. But I have to say that all of us, we were given the same ticket. So that's where the push and pull happened to be, until we were finally allowed to go with that particular agent and then got it.
So meaning, instead of going with the one they arranged for you guys, you decided to go with the first one.
Exactly.
And it kind of saved you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of saved you.
For sure.
Okay, so after you've gone with Ibrahim, what happened?
Yes, Ibrahim, we moved from him, from that place, Boros, and moved to another place we call Tamaraset. From Tamaraset also we moved to this place, Debdeb. From Debdeb we moved to Urgila. From Urgila we moved to the last town in Algeria, between them and Tunisia, which we call Tebessa. Then from Tebessa, that's the time where we're supposed to now cross to Tunisia, in a place called Kasrent, and that's where I was captured, and that was the end of my journey towards the north of Africa.
Who captured you?
It was the National Guard, the Tunisian National Guard, were the people who captured us, because they are anti-migrants anyway. They don't want the migrants to be passing through their countries to go to Europe. So when we entered there during the night time, we walked for a very long distance. It was coming to be a day, so now we enter under the gutter, like under a bridge. With the bridge, it's a waterway, so that's where we hide during the morning. So the night time we could now again walk from one place to another. And during the daytime, that's where some dogs attack us there. We stone the dogs and then they make a noise, and that's where we feel that at least they have got an information of their migrants that are present here. Less than few minutes and a few hours, they were able to come and they surrounded us, and then that's how we were being detained. So
after being detained, what happened? Were you able to communicate to your people in the Gambia, or at least communicate to other NGOs who can help?
No. In fact, when we were crossing from Algeria going to Tunisia, we were told that if you do not have a mobile phone, no need for you to go. Because they normally give a telephone number of an agent. When you arrive inside Tunisia, you call that agent to come and collect you, or he will send a taxi man to come and collect you. So for us, our telephone, personally, my telephone was taken. And all of us who were there, few of them were having telephones that were off. In fact, so we contributed and bought a telephone. That telephone also, we bought SIM card and put it there. At the same time, there was no charge. So the telephone got off before we even entered Tunisia. And that's how we don't have any communications to make, neither to our family members, nor to our agent who support.
And you couldn't ask anybody for help?
Well, we were only those group of Gambians, about 11 of us who were there. All of us, nobody had a telephone to call. It was only one mobile phone that we bought together, and that was the one that was also not having charge.
So when you were taken to a detention camp, what happened?
Well, they took us there. When they took us there, what happened was that they kept us there for 3 good days. Like I remember it was on a Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. They did not give us any food. And when we complained, they only brought some remains of chickens that they have eaten. Those remain bones and others is what they just bring to us, and we roast and they eat that one. The following day, when we also complained, the only thing that they could do was to go and prepare very hot spaghetti, very watery, and then put there a lot of pepper and then give it to us. So that was the time when we started eating. Everybody cried because we remember in the Gambia, no matter how difficult is it, we are never treated like this.
Yeah, that must have been a very
difficult moment for us.
So, like, during that time, were they communicating to you guys, trying to let you know what your crime is, why you are being detained, or they try to know where you came from, or something like that?
Well, they were not that much communicating to us, but I can say there was one individual who can speak English a little bit, and there was also one migrant among us. We call him. He was able to speak Arabic a little bit. So that guy used to come and tell us that, okay, if we free you from here, please try and go to your homes. Try and go to your home, because you meet with us and you are lucky. But then if you may meet with another group of individuals who can also kill you, or even they can do something very bad to you. So this was how the situation was there. There was only one guy who was communicating with us, and that was the one. If not that, there was also one of their leaders, who used to come and inform us, give us information, telling us, okay, you will be going home, and that gives us hope. But the rest, the only thing they could do is to come and then punish us. Sometimes they will come and search our bags, search our pockets, where they will sit and they will beat us. And then sometimes they sprinkle water on us and they allowed us to sleep in that cold weather, a very cold weather at that very moment. So this was the treatment that we faced in that detention anyway.
How long have you been there?
We've been there for about 3 to 4 days with no food, and that's where they now take us and now dump us in the forest and tell us you have to go back to Algeria. So this is how we were released from there, and then they dump us in the forest without water and without food. So luckily I was with one avian bottle of water, and then that avian bottle of water was not full. And the forest was a very open forest, very big forest. We don't know where to go, east, west, north, and south. So after walking for a long distance in the night, we decided to gather at one place and then sleep there. During the morning, we also followed that route and then continue walking until we met 2 camps in the forest. One camp was for that of Algeria, the other camp is that of Tunisia. And now that's where we now decide that maybe this side of the forest is Tunisia, this side of the forest is Algeria. Hence, we have been sent from Tunisia, so let's follow the part of the forest that we think is from Algeria, part of Algeria. And that's how we were able to walk through that one. We walked for a very long distance, I can say hundreds of kilometers before we arrive at the main place where we departed before we called Tebessa.
Okay, you've mentioned that you have just 1 bottle of water.
Exactly.
Which is not even a full bottle.
Exactly.
Instead, it's a half bottle.
Sure.
So, and you were with a group of people, isn't
Exactly.
it? So how did you manage to drink that water? Were you sharing with them, or how did you guys manage?
Well, some of them were having water, but not all of them. So what happened, like when we walked there throughout the night until around 4, we sleep for some time, some hours. We woke up in the morning and then continue walking. So when we walk until it was around 2 o'clock, 3, 4. That's the time when we now approach villages. And we were just walking beside the highway. Okay. So now we exited the forest without no water managing it that we have. And now we approaching village from one village to another. So those cars that sometimes pass us by, they normally throw us biscuits, some will throw us water. That's how we were able to get water. And as we approach the town, more people, more vehicles started to sympathize us, giving us food, giving us water, and even sometimes giving us that water. So we normally have food, a lot of food during that moment when we arrive at the village, but still now walking towards the destinations.
Okay. So when you arrived at the camp, you mean the Algerian camp, isn't it? Because you took the Algerian side.
Yes, exactly.
What happened? Were you welcomed?
Well, we went back to Tebessa.
Okay.
We went back to Tibet, the town where we left. That's a town where all the migrants converge, and then from there now they enter the border. They cross the border and go to Tunisia. That's where we arrive back and find there are thousands of other fellow Africans. We sleep in the mountains, and then that's where I also join them, sleep in the mountain. If you have the money, you can go back. If you don't have the money, you wait until whenever you have the money, then you can launch your journey and then continue going back to Tunisia.
Okay, so what happened to you?
For me, my feet were swollen. My feet were swollen. We spent there. I think we came there on Wednesday. Then early morning on Thursday, these people have to come again. The Algerian authorities. It was the time for refoulement. The time we call deportation, when they will go and attack migrants and then deport them back to their back to the Sahara Desert. So in that morning, they just arrived and then instantly 26 boats.
And you got there that night, isn't it?
We got there about 2 to 3 days of work anyway.
Okay.
So when we got there, my feet were swollen, and then I could not do anything. And that's the time when the Algerian come with 26 buses. Instantly, less than 1 hour, all the 26 buses were full of migrants. And those buses, when they bring another number of buses, they follow the migrants on that area, on the mountains, climbing, and then sending them to come down. When they come down, you're just gonna go straight to the bus because you can escape anywhere. So me being somebody whose feet were swollen and I cannot do anything now, I said, let me just have to, I think I have to just surrender and then go back home if that's gonna be the only chance. And that's the time when I even decided, I think now I have to go back home because all these difficulties, all these dangers here, I don't think I can be able to make it in this journey. And when I got sick, the way that I see people being sick and die here, that could be
it could be your
it
case.
Could be my case. So I think the best thing is to surrender, and that's how I surrendered, and I was taken to prison again.
Prison?
Yeah, that's another.
Instead of going home, they
took us to prison. From that prison
in Algeria.
In Algeria, yes.
Okay.
This time Algeria took us in their prison, took us to prison, and from there now. They keep us there, I think, for 1 or 2 days in a very big hall, I can say. The hall was very big. We arrived there around 8, and then more and more migrants were coming. During that, when we wake up in the morning, you will not even have a place where to stand because migrants were fully, was overcrowded, pregnant women, children, sick people, and there was no toilet. It was only a kind of a bathroom in the other side. It was a basketball lawn where they locked us, and the other side was a bathroom. So that bathroom is where migrants do everything. More than, I can say 5 or up to 1,000 migrants. It was a very big hall. They put all of us there and there was no, toilet. So everything
So did they tell you why they kept you guys over there?
We already know that they are combating irregular migration and they don't want the migrants to be using their countries to go to Europe.
Okay. So how long did you stay there?
I think it took me about 2 weeks under their hands from one prison to another until I finally reached Niger, because they put us, from one prison to another, until they are border with Niger. That's where they put us in the big trucks. And then in those trucks, they now take us to the Sahara Desert until they are border with Niger, about 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers, sometimes 50 kilometers, where they will dump you guys and now tell you to go straight. So when you flow that direction, if you're not missing, you will arrive in a village we call Asamaka, and that's where you find hundreds of migrants who are stranded there and don't have communications, don't have a way to go back. So there we have an IOM camp that also could help migrants to also return back to their countries. So this is where I end up at the end of the day.
So after getting to Asamaka, what happened? Well, you were able to arrange something so that you can go home. Were you able to talk to your family? All along, what happened? Did you talk to your family?
Well, in Asamaka, I did not talk to my family prior. It's about 2 good days. 2 weeks. I did not communicate with my family members. So basically, it was very difficult for me. But at the last minute when I arrived in Asamaka, I see many people who have been sick there. Some have been waiting for repatriation for more than 3 months. And I said, I think I cannot wait for this. And then that's the time when I make communication and then rely on family, friends to support me to get boats from there, travel from Niger to Benin to Togo to Burkina and back to Mali, then from Mali to Senegal, from Senegal to the Gambia.
Okay. So, how long did you spend in this journey?
My journey in total from the Gambia to Tunisia, from Tunisia back to the Gambia is 55 days.
55 days?
Yes, 55 days.
It's about 1 month?
Yeah, about 1 month and some days anyway. But I met people who have spent there more. What they used to tell me is that you come for an excursion, because I met someone who spent there more than 2 years, and one The one who spent the longest time, we call him Kullu Jamal, was there since 2013 attempting the journey. He said he will never come back to the Gambia. He feel ashamed to come back after all the money that the parents, the family spent on him, and then after all the time he wasted there, he prefer to die than to come back to the Gambia. So some spend there more than 3 years, some 2 years. But for me, my journey entirely was 55 days.
Wow, that's about let's say 5 days less.
Exactly.
Less than 2 months.
Exactly.
Yeah, 5 days, less than 2 months.
Sure.
Okay, so were you able to convince some of them for them to come back to the Gambia since they've spent a lot of time over there and it seems the journey will not hold as they want to?
Yes, I was able to convince some of them. I was able to convince some of them to come back to the Gambia. And then luckily 9 of us who left the Gambia together, who met at the bus and then left, and all throughout the journey we have been together, all of us safely returned back to the Gambia at a different time. But we were all convinced that we will be coming back home because of all the difficulties, the dangers that we faced there. And we survived. We finally decided to come back to the Gambia, knowing fully well that our purpose was really in that particular journey.
Okay, so how did it feel when you came back to the Gambia?
Well,
like you have to face your family, your friends, like the whole society and stuff. How did
it's another journey. So it's the journey after the journey anyway. So that one also was very difficult. Reintegration, I mean, coming back to the part of society again was something very difficult. And I have been somebody who have been very much active in recording poems, raising awareness of regular migration, shooting videos, sharing them with people. So having embarked on the journey, people never think that my status in society
would have given you that chance to do that. Yeah.
So it was very difficult for me because, like I said, I get to realize that back home people were saying that I'm already dead. And then, somewhere circulating that information going up and down. Somewhere even taking pictures, posting me, on social media, their status RIP. And somewhere even taking pictures of decayed people, showing them to individuals, tell that this is me. So when I return, people approach me and then show me some of those pictures, some show me the information, some come directly to me and then tell me this is what we heard about you. So basically, this is the difficulty that I face when I returned back to the Gambia. So at the family level, I didn't face any problem because for them, they were interested in my survival. There's no I have tried my level best, even though it was not their wish and desire, and I did not. It was not their wish and desire to go to the journey. And did not encourage me, but hence I am there. They have to try their level best to save me because their money is the only thing that can save you from one place to another at some point. So this is the difficulty that I get from the journey, but also the long distance that I have walked, the torture, and then the food that we eat. So this also I have to pay the price for this. So this was why. At some point, I was very, very sick. I was not able to do anything for myself because
when you came back home?
Yeah, when I came back home, because the difficulties in the journey is what is now paying back.
Okay, but then what have you learned in all of that? What have you learned? Like everything about the journey, what happened, the food you were talking about, the places you visit, the people you've met.
Well, it makes me to appreciate my country more than any other thing. That is one thing that I have learned, that there is no place that we can call home, and there is no place better than the Gambia. And the freedom, there's nothing, more precious than freedom. Not money, not dollar, not even arriving in Europe. Because throughout the journey, I have lost my freedom. And when I return to the Gambia, I know that exactly this is what we call freedom. So basically, I've also learned to be humbled. Because at some point of the journey, small kids will be beating you. And then I have to bear that. So when I come to the Gambia, I learn to be patient. There's nothing that can make me angry if I want. And there's no difficulty that I cannot navigate and then successfully pass through the difficulty. So this is it. And also, I've learned that I'm better than many people in the journey. Those that I met in the journey, some of them, come from villages and homes that have been attacked by bandits and then militias, and then some of them, some of the places that I passed through, they live in a very primitive life. The things that I have in the country here and the life that I enjoy here, they are living a life, I can say 100% behind. Wow. So this is basically what I have learned in the journey. The patience, the endurance, and then the strength, resilience is what the journey has taught me. And most importantly, survival skills, because intelligence is what I have to keep you surviving. And this is why every time, I have to think of a way, a means of surviving, a means of escaping from danger when it is coming. My bag was always with me, my food was always with me. Everything I needed immediately to survive was always with me. So this is a survival skill that I have learned, and back to the Gambia is something that keeps me moving as well.
Okay. So if you have a message for the youths out there, what would it be?
I will tell them that no matter how difficult is it in their homeland, let them never try the back way, because it is not the solution to their problems. And then they might risk losing their lives in the journey. I am lucky to have survived, but I knew some who have died in the journey. A very close friend of mine, we went together in the Gambia College. And, we competed together. He was a very qualified.
He's a teacher as well?
He's a teacher as well. In the journey, I have met a teacher. I have met a soldier. I have met an electrician. I even have met an artist that was a very popular artist, a rising artist in the Gambia. I have met him in the journey. So different kind of people.
So what happened to those people?
Some of them I didn't know their whereabouts, because we normally meet from one place to another. Like when we move from one place to another, we normally go together. The same combat when we arrive, everybody go to a different area. And so that's how I didn't hear from them. But my dad friend lost his life. When I returned back home, he was in Tunisia. I have to call him and say, okay, boy, I think we have to come back home. But he tell me, let me just try my chance and think my family has spent a lot. And even coming back home right now is impossible. So fortunately, after some time, I just have to receive the news of his demise. So let them know that, let them not think of like the money that those who are successfully arriving in Juba sending back home. Let them think of their life first. Because if you attend the journey and you could not make it, at the end of the day, the family that you were even struggling for, they'll keep on struggling more than you do. Because you live there with trauma, you live there with sadness. At the same time, most of them will spend a lot of what their money and assets on you. So when you return back home, it's another loss. When you die, it's a tragedy.
That's extra.
That is going to last for the rest of their life.
Yeah, sure.
So this is my message to the young people. But to the government also and the philanthropists, I am just urging them to help the youths in any means that they can do. The young people are suffering in one way or the other. Most of these people that I met in the journey, some of them have very good skills. Some of them, started very good in the Gambia. But because they lack the support, they lack the promotion, they lack the encouragement, they totally feel desperate and decide to embark on this particular journey. So I believe if the government, the philanthropists, and any other person who is capable and able to help the young people, if you step in forward to help them, open the doors, make it accessible to them, they can be able to stay and believe that they will really make it in the Gambia. But in the absence of that, we are going to continue advocating against irregular migration. We are going to raise awareness, but that will not stop anybody from going, even though they know the dangers that are there. So this is my message to the government, to the young people, to the philanthropists, and to any other able individual who is able to at least help the young people in one way or the other.
All right. So you are the pen, so I believe I should let you splash some of your ink in my studio before you leave here. You must have written a poem concerning your journey, isn't it?
Well, I have been writing poems about the journey anyway, and I have written most of them. And I even launched my poetry album after the journey.
Okay.
I titled it DGU, meaning Don't Give Up.
Okay. So can you give me maybe one or two points?
I think
as part of the album?
I'm not prepared for the poems for now.
Okay.
I think I would just like to elaborate about our organization, which is against irregular migration.
Okay.
We are an organization that was founded in Libyan prison in 2017. Back to the Gambia, it was registered, and then since then we have been raising awareness, doing a lot of activities that help the young people to realize dangers in the journey, but also to advocate for the opportunities. This is why wherever we have been called, we normally go, because we are contributing to the development of the young people. So we are urging every young person, most of it one is, if we return back from the Backway, come and join us, and then together we will use our experience to see how best we can help one another and contribute to the development of the country. So I guess another time we will see how best to
on the poetry.
And knowing that you guys have a studio, I think I'm very much interested as a poet. Before I've been recording, but when I came back from the journey, I decided to stop all recordings and so on.
Okay.
Sure.
Then it will be a pleasure for us to work. Anyway, thanks for coming, and do have a great day ahead of you. Viewers, I just to remind you that you are watching Young Online TV, and I am Mariam Kamara. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe in case if you haven't, and please, if you watch our programs after watching, please like and share. That's what helps us to do our work. Bye-bye for now.